Hello, I am going to attempt to explain absolute value functions and square root functions, how they relate to each other, and how they relate to the standard form of their equations. First, standard form of the absolute value equation. F of x, that stands for a function, it's the same as y. F of x equals a times the absolute value of x minus h plus k. What we've been saying in class is that the H for horizontal, that it's like a bunny hopping in the opposite direction. The bunny hops in the opposite direction on the horizontal axis. Horizontal being this is the horizontal axis right here, okay? Same as the horizon line. Then I've got K, which goes up and down on the vertical axis like a kite. The kite, you can see, also has a V, which would be for vertical. Vertical axis is here. This is your y-axis or your vertical axis. Okay, how does this work? Let's take a problem. Let's do f of x, again, same thing as y, equals 2 times the absolute value of x minus 2 plus 1. The rabbit, the H, the rabbit hops in the opposite direction, and the K, it does what it's told. So we're going to start with the H. It says -2. We are going to go +2. Right here. You actually don't want a dot there, because then we're going to go up 1. This is my new vertex, my new beginning. That is the beginning point for my absolute value graph. When we have a number out front, which I just used my erase button, here we go. When we have a number out front, this is, for the absolute value graph, it is the slope. We know that all absolute value graphs are in the form of a V. So I'm going to use this slope, 2/1. It's rise over run. From my origin, I go up 2 and over 1. Up 2 and over 1 in the other direction, because I have studied and I know that the absolute value looks like a V. Okay, that reviews all of the parts of the absolute value graph that we have studied to date. And now I'm going to change this to a square root equation. Now the only thing that changes in this equation is I take away these absolute value bars, these prison bars we've called them, and I replace it with a square root bar. Everything else works the same way. So if I have a 3 times the absolute value of x plus 2 minus 3, my bunny will hop in the opposite direction. So this says +2, so I am going to -2. I don't want a dot there. I'm just holding that so you can see it. Then I go down 3 because the kite does what it's told. It does exactly what it says. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3. This is our new vertex. I don't need any other dots. Our new beginning point for my my square root function is going to look like a right-hand turn signal. So now I have 3 out in front. I have taught you that I have a parent graph for my absolute value. My parent graph looks like this: x 0, 1, 4, and 9. I picked values that I know I can take the square root of. So the square root of 0 is 0, 1 is 1, the square root of 4 is 2, and the square root of 9 is 3. If I have a number out front, it's gonna change my slope, but we're gonna do it a little bit differently. We're going to multiply all the y values times 3. So now my new y values, I'll write them in red, are 0 times 3 is 0, 1 times 3 is 3, 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9. So these are the new points that we are going to plot. And this is very important. We're not starting at 0, 0. We're starting at our new origin. So we're considering that 0, 0. We're going to go over 1 on the x. We'll go over 1 and then up 3. Over 1, up 3, and put a dot. Then I go back to my origin. I go over 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is stretched out from our parent graph because of the 3 out front. Now we just draw. Remember, the square root functions have a definite beginning and then an arrow on the far end. Okay? I don't need any of these other little dots I've left behind. All right. I have suggested that students create a table that would represent this square root, this A, 2, 3, 4. So this would be the table that I've created here for the 3, the absolute value with a 3 in front. I suggested that kids make a table with an x and an absolute value. Let's move that over. Like with a 4 in front. So the x's would be 0, 1, 4, and 9. And if there was a 4 in front, it would be 0, 4, 8, 12. So I suggested that kids make little tables like this in their notes so that they have them and will not have to look those up during a test or a quiz. If you have any questions, email them to me or talk to me in class. And I hope this helps. Thank you very much. Goodbye.